Hey, what's up everyone? John here, Chief Motivator at Method 3 Fitness, and I'm here with Miss Nadia Santiago.
Hi.
How you doing, Nadia?
Doing well, how about you?
Good, I'm great. Thanks for joining me today. So we're here with another digital learning experience, and today we're going to talk about the best ways to get out of a mental funk. So I am really excited to talk about this actually, because I think everyone has these moments, and I can't wait to get some insight from you on this. And for those of you that do or don't know Nadia, so at Method 3 Fitness, she is our awesome digital media specialist. She is a coach of yours here, been here over 6 years now. And she's also a resident yogi, so if any of you guys are looking to improve your mobility, she's the gal to come see. And I think when we hired you, you were actually in your graduate program for psychology, right?
That's right.
And then you also have a master's in transpersonal psychology.
Yes.
Perfect. So we're talking to the right girl today is what I'm saying. So, and I think also just with all of her yoga background, there's just a lot of personal development and research and things that Nadia has done into this. So it's going to be fun to hear her insights into how to get out of that mental funk.
Yeah,
so
I'm excited to share it with you.
That's it. So let's dive in. What do you got for us today?
All right. Well, I know personally for myself, there are always going to be those periods where I drop down into a mental funk, and I'm not exactly sure why. You know, you have those days where you wake up and you just know that, or you feel in your gut that it's going to be a weird kind of day.
Absolutely.
Like kid starts crying and you're like, oh my God. Even just like having to do simple things like put out the trash,
right,
or like even go to work, you're like, I don't even feel like it today.
Small things seem insurmountable.
Exactly. And you have no idea why. So, and that's okay. And I would say that the first strategy would be to just simply acknowledge it, you know, without judging it. I think we tend to get ahead of ourselves, and once we start feeling like we're down, and especially in today's society where we have to be busy all the time, we're always working, we put in 40, 60 hours a week, then it's easy to say, oh man, I need to get past this. I need to
push
move
through
forward.
it.
Or push through it. I would say just pause for a few minutes and just say, hey, I'm in kind of this weird zone today. I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling angry, or it's kind of
anxious,
intense,
or whatever it may be.
Whatever it is, just say, hey, that's okay. Let's see where it takes me today, you know? And just go with it.
So I think I just, what resonated right there for me real quick is just acknowledge it, don't judge it. And I think for a lot of us out there, especially us type A people that are go and doing all these things, and I'm going to push through it and things like that, we don't want to, right? We just think like, well, it's just another thing I got to get through. And if I just barrel through it, I'm going to be better for it. And that's not the case. You have to give yourself this second to just pause, acknowledge it for what it is, almost step out and see it. And then, don't judge it, just see it for what it is, and then move on. So I think that can probably definitely help for sure. So that's a great strategy. Number one, right there.
Yeah, and if you have somebody that can remind you, that's always helpful.
True. Yeah. Yes, that's good.
So second strategy is to get it out in the open. And I don't mean like if you're angry, like blow up at somebody. That's the last thing we want.
Don't take it out on your children, guys, or your coworkers, or your spouse.
We want a productive release of emotions.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, ask a friend, ask your spouse if you can vent to them and if they can just listen. Or journal. I have this thing I was telling you earlier. I have a document that I keep in, a Word document actually, that I create every single month. It's called Another 30 Days. And just anytime I feel like I need to work through something in my mind, I open up the document, write down the date, and just go to town. And
just anything you're thinking, feeling, whatever.
Anything that comes up. I'm stressed out because I got to do my taxes. I'll write that down. I don't feel like doing my taxes right now. I'm worried that I'm going to have to pay a lot, or I'm exhausted, but I still have like 6 hours of work left. That kind of stuff. I just write everything I can think of out in the document.
Gotcha.
And you know what? The funny thing is that I don't actually have to do anything after that, and I immediately start feeling better.
Gotcha. Yeah. So it's just getting it out in a productive way, like you said, and whether that's journaling or talking to someone. But I think the getting permission is important. It's funny. Sarah's my wife, and we will actually try to be mindful of asking each other, "Hey, I need to dump We call it dump. I need to dump right now. Are you in a position to receive that? And the other person, the partner we have full permission to say yes or no, depending on where we're at, to take that on, right? Yeah. So I think venting can be good, but making sure that whoever it is you're chatting with is ready to receive is important. So, and then journaling. But what if you said just channel in a productive way? I immediately think of, okay, I'm just going to go work out and just let it all out on the heavy bag or something, or in my interval training workout. Is that acceptable in what we're talking about? Or
well, in terms of letting out your emotions, I really feel like it should be something that's verbal or written. I think that working out can be a good thing, and that's actually getting to number 3. Okay. But the process of actually, I would say that that's more of a distraction, and it can release some emotions, but you're not guaranteed at the end of it to feel better.
Well, and I guess as we're talking about it, what I'm thinking through is in strategy 2 there, to actually like get it out in a productive way. You're forced to at least think about it a little bit. Again, ideally without judgment, but you're forced to think about it or talk about it and discuss those feelings and emotions, which sometimes, I'll be honest, I think a lot of people, communication and talking about feelings and emotions, it's not something we feel comfortable with a lot. Yeah. So a workout is just another way sometimes to maybe avoid that, I guess, right?
Yes, yeah. Exactly. And you might actually get that release with the workout, but sometimes the problem is still there.
Got it, yeah.
If that's where your emotions are coming
from.
All
right, good insight.
But that was actually a good segue to the third one, which is to do something that makes your mind and your body feel good. So whatever you know that puts you gives you that feeling of calm, if that's what you need, or raises your energy if that's what you need. And for a lot of people, that's the workout. Workout for me, I like to do yoga. And sometimes it's actually just stopping, sitting down, drinking a cup of coffee. It can be very, very simple.
Good. Okay. So it could be a workout. So pretty much anything that you said will bring you some joy for both body and mind. Yeah. Basically. Okay.
Exactly.
Good. And that could be whatever. So sky's the limit on that, I think, ultimately, right? So workout could be a yoga session with you. It could be as simple as a cup of coffee. It could be hanging out and getting a nice lunch with your significant other. Give them a nice little kiss. Feeling great about that.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if it's last minute, text or call a friend. You know, you'll always find something. Okay. And that's why actually, I encourage people to keep a list of the things, because we tend to go to the same things all the time. Like you were saying, like you immediately think, I need a workout. You're stressed out, right? So you go to the workout. But sometimes that's not gonna work. I mean, sometimes it works, right?
Sometimes it doesn't
Very
work. True.
So there might be something else that you need. Yeah. So if every once in a while, let's say you did the workout, maybe you need something different, or you run down the list first and think, okay, well, maybe what I actually need is to stop and meditate. Yeah. Something just totally different. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Give you a change of pace, right? Yep. Which changes your mind and your emotions. Yeah. So I think that's good. Whatever way you decide to utilize to feel good, both body and mind, is to not just create a list, but then utilize the things on that list, right? So it's like I could say workout and meditation and read a book and lunch with my spouse and hang out with a kid or kids plural, whatever it is, but I actually have to do those things or actually like say, okay, I'm not going to work out today to make myself feel better. I'm going to do this instead. So I think it's important once you make the list, actually hopefully hold yourself accountable to doing some of those alternatives on your list, because you may find that like even though it doesn't come second nature, like, oh, I know, I'm going to go have lunch with Sarah, or I'm going to call a friend, that when you do it, it's actually great, right? You just didn't even realize it until you actually do it, right? Something very simple. One thing for me that I always forget is like to get outside, to get out when it's sunny out, to get outdoors. Because there's so many things I'm like, oh, let me go out, let me go and do some yoga, let me meditate, let me do this. When really, and then I get myself dressed and I go out the door to go to work, and I'm like, there's the sun, and I feel amazing. Yeah. It only took 1 second. And bam, mental fun. If I had referred to my list, I would have remembered. Yeah, that's good. Okay, great.
So that was strategy 3, correct?
Yes.
All right.
And number 4 is actually very, very simple. And it's just to recognize that, you're going to get into these funny moods, into these funks every once in a while, and that it will pass. So, you can't always guarantee when it will pass. It might be tomorrow you'll feel fine. It might be a few days. It might be a couple weeks. But slowly you'll start to feel better. And just knowing that on the other side, there's that feeling, that's that bubbly you that that you show up with on a daily basis. I think it helps to make you feel better.
This too shall pass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think that can be really difficult for people to understand and to, I think, acknowledge, right? I think some of us out there may be a little bit more kinder to ourselves than others. And there's this, sometimes I feel like in society, there's this underlying notion of like, well, I don't get to feel bad or acknowledge that, or it's frowned upon, or, what's wrong with me, or something like that. Instead of having some compassion and realizing like, okay, well, just look at the strategies we just laid out. Acknowledge it, don't judge it, channel it productively, express those feelings and emotions, and then do something that makes you feel good, both body and mind. And then just remember that whatever it is, whatever you're experiencing, even if it's more than an hour a day or a few weeks, it's going to pass, right?
Exactly.
So, I love that. I think that people have to have a little more compassion for themselves and for others that may be experiencing those wonky days, if you will.
Yeah,
right?
so true. So true.
So what if, so I think those are awesome strategies. What if, Nadia, at the end of the day, I feel like I'm not still getting out of this like funk of some sort? Do you typically say, hey, you know what, at that point, maybe go talk with someone else to work through this? Or what would be something else if I feel like, oh gosh, I'm doing these strategies and I still don't feel myself, so to speak?
Yeah. One thing I would say, before you talk to somebody else, see how much pressure you're putting on yourself to feel better.
Gotcha.
And that would be the first thing. I guess that's referring back to the first step.
Yeah.
But just notice if you're putting too much pressure on yourself, either because you're in a funk or if there's a lot of stress in your life. There might actually be some sort of stress that's causing you to be in that mood, and that you have to uncover a little bit.
Okay.
But a professional would help that.
Got it.
If you were to, let's say, I would say group therapy is great for working through those things, or just seeing a therapist.
Yep.
And then if you're really, really in a bad mood, like you can't get up in the morning, like it's that severe, then I would say call 911 or,
seek some sort of actual practitioner, healthcare person. Yeah. And I think, so at the end of the day, I think these strategies are huge. I think for most of us are going to help a ton. And then it's being mindful and being okay with, first, making sure we're not really still judging ourselves for having these feelings. But if you do need any extra help, that counseling or therapy, like, these aren't bad words, they're okay. And there's great things that can come from it, right?
Yeah.
If anything, you learn a lot of tools and you work through a lot of things to just be better and enjoy life.
Yeah.
So.
There was one statistic I remember hearing. I don't know the exact numbers, but especially as it relates to like couples and whatnot in therapy, people usually seek therapy, but when it's too late, and you just like I would say with your health, you need to be proactive. So if you feel yourself going into a funk, you actually need to start working on it right away.
Yeah.
And before it gets too bad.
Yeah.
That's why, those professionals are there for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before you
get down.
deep.
Yep, there we go. Yeah. So great stuff. I appreciate it. This is awesome. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed those 4 strategies and a little more, and our discussion just on taking care of yourself and getting out of the mental funk. Is there anything else you want to add, Nadia?
No, I think that's it.
Awesome. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this latest digital learning experience to improve the way you think. Until next time. See you later.
Bye.